Mexico before the cartels.
I'm like, you're actually not on vacation right now.
But I was on vacation and I'm flipping through TikTok and I follow certain people. And I found this person on TikTok, I don't know, a couple months ago. And all of a sudden I'm like, she's from Grand Rapids?
Wait, you didn't know he was from Grand Rapids?
No, I just thought I don't know, you landed in my feed because that sounds kind of smart. You landed in my feed.
Michelle follows a lot of hotties. So
yeah,
I came up on her FYP.
It did. There you go.
Follows a lot of hot single moms.
And FYP stands for something interesting. It doesn't stand for You Page. Okay, whatever. Anyway, so I come in this lunch table comic and I'm like, wait, what? There's a comic here that I like to know the comics. I used to do a show with the comics and stuff. And hi, welcome.
Hi. Welcome to the Q Michelle's One Question Podcast.
Michelle. Virginia, say your last name.
Anzengruber. Yeah, I said it so you didn't have to. But also,
we'll just call you the lunch table comic.
That's perfect. I love that.
Or it's lunch table. I added I know it's lunch table.
Oh. No, that's good. I love that. That's my TikTok handle. And it's truly because like, I think I've always been like that person that would just tell stories like at school, and by stories, I mean, I would do Robin Williams impressions after I like watched his, stand-up specials or, I'd come in and like do Miss Doubtfire at like 6 years old to just sort of be like, hello, dear, like that, that feeling of like, I can make my friends laugh while we're all seated. Right. But then the second that like, you would have to like put me in front of somebody, you get nervous. It gets really weird, but I'm always really good around a meal,
Okay.
I
know, same, right?
Me too. I stopped at Michelle's house yesterday. She was having a meal, and I'm like, move over.
We were having a girl dinner.
What did you eat?
Well, we had a tray of veggies and fruit, and then cheese.
A crudité. I love a charcuterie.
Charcuterie, yeah.
We do that often at my house because we have girl.
Her and her
house.
daughter, yeah. They go, we're having girl dinner, and I go, what the hell is that? Move over.
Yeah, Well, even food for vegans there, right?
Yeah,
we can feed you too. But let's go to the question.
Okay,
who came up with this? Well, and so Virginia, besides being this TikTok comic person, I also saw you review some food, and I kind of like that because I'm into learning about new restaurants in town. But Michelle came up with this question that I don't even know how I'm going to answer it. Is what secret talent do you have? Because this is not your day job.
No, I mean, so it's funny because my background, I'm from Florida originally. I spent 5 years in LA in film and TV production. So my like day job is like production. Like I'm a commercial director. I'm a filmmaker. I make like music videos. A lot of times I am running corporate marketing departments, right? Because that's sort of like the transition into like a practical.
I had no idea.
Yeah. And so the comedy thing is funny because like I started stand up when I lived back in Grand Rapids in 2011, 2012. And I started it just kind of as a lark. I wanted to. I was around funny people. I like comedy. And I had been working in LA for a few years at the time and had moved back here for work because that was when Michigan was doing a lot the film incentives. Yeah. Exactly. So I had sort of moved here and as like a transplant was like, this feels safe. I can get into this. These people don't know who I am. I can kind of work on this. Right. And then we moved back to Los Angeles and I'll be honest, working in, TV writers' rooms and film production, I couldn't be out at open mics until like 1 a.m. and then on set at 5 a.m. or whatever. That just wasn't tenable.
No.
So I took a 9-year break. So I need you to understand when you asked the question of like, what's your secret talent? I was like, I think it is stand-up comedy because for such a long time, what I was focused on was sort of, I was actually a producer, a production coordinator. And then back in like 2015, I started my very first podcast. And then that really kind of set me off into this area where I was like, I don't just have to be the admin of the film world. Like I have a voice. Michelle, you were talking about your daughter wanting to write scripts, right? Like I had scripts to write. I had things to say. And so I kind of pivoted and then went into like film production and kind of just took a pause from stand-up because I was like, okay, I'm learning how to write for TV. I'm learning how to translate that into making things, right, for the camera. And then I kind of forgot what it was like to tell a joke on stage. Because if you don't have the benefit of like the scene or the script or props or everything we know about the character leading up to this contextually, right? And you just have set up punchline and that's it.
Yeah.
I was bad again for a while, you know? And so
That's humbling.
it was very humbling. Well, and I decided to do it in the middle of getting divorced back in 2023.
Oh, that's funny.
I said, what can I do to really keep this ego in check? I know. I'll go back to stand-up comedy.
And put myself on stage.
This is amazing. But once again, I did this thing where it's so funny. It was like, what's your hidden talent? When I decided to come back, even though I started comedy here and then went to LA and then kind of just paused, because I lived here again, I was so nervous of being bad in front of people that I know, in front of my community.
Mm-hmm.
So for the first couple months, I would drive and I only did shows in Lansing.
Okay.
I would do shows in Lansing. I would do shows in Ann Arbor. I would only do shows in places where I was like, well, these people aren't going to see me tomorrow at the grocery store. So if I'm terrible, which I will be again, I can just be terrible in secret. And then,
wow, that's brilliant and sad.
It was so the amount of drives home where I was like, I just ate so much crap in front of all of these people. And I don't know if we can curse on
yes,
this
you
podcast.
can.
I was gonna say I don't want to use harsh words like crap in front of you guys.
Oh,
this
man.
is a family
Crap
show.
My virgin ears are
It was pretty tough. I know. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to work blue like that in front of you guys. But no, there was a lot of those nights. But it was so funny because in that I was like, oh, I love this. Because even in those terrible drives home where I'm listening to my set and I'm kind of in the way that a sports coach rewatches plays,
Yep.
I'm listening and I'm listening to where people aren't laughing. I'm listening to where they are. I'm listening to where I am clearly in control. I'm listening to where I lost control. I'm listening to all these kind of bits and realizing oh my God, I need to get so much better.
It's one of the hardest things in the world to do. And, working in television, working in radio, listening to yourself.
Oh, I hate it.
It's awful. Yourself. It's so cringy and so uncomfortable.
That's how you get better.
When is the first time you thought, I'm funny? How did that happen?
So I think everybody probably has childhood stories.
Uh-huh.
I am one of 5 siblings.
Oh, wow.
And so I think, you guys were like, thanks so much for doing the podcast. And I was like, I love attention, guys. I'm going to do,
I'm going to do
also. Any
Shocker.
attention. You know what I mean? Please pay attention to me. Yeah.
There's no business. Yeah,
I truly was and it's so funny because there's a video that my sister posted on social media and it's so great because she must have found it from some sort of old camcorder and then digitized it. But it's me when I was 8 or 9 years old. And it's at Christmas and she goes, Ginny, what did you get? And I go, I got the best movie in the world, Superstar. And clearly it's you see Molly Shannon just in my pores. And I'm just going to school holding my armpits like a weird little 9-year-old, And I was like, this will make friends. You know what I mean? People will like this, right? Cool.
Popular girl right here.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Definitely wasn't a virgin until 19. No big deal.
No,
big
I
deal.
would not have thought. I didn't know.
Well, it's because you followed me because I'm such a MILF. Of course, you would have never guessed that, Michelle. You followed me for my hotness, not for my jokes.
Absolutely.
I love that. I love that she was like, I didn't even know she was funny. I just thought, that's great.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Your algorithm found her.
I love that. Yeah.
The way that you talk, the way that you speak, the way that you get your word out, get your story. I can't even think of the word I'm trying to say, but you do clearly better than I do. But the way you say things are exactly how I think, and exactly how I would say them. And that's why I watch you. I'm like, I could almost say your next sentence. I'm like, if she said it. Oh yeah. It's the truth. And that's why I'm like, I like this girl. Because and she'll tell me, she'll see different, but I hate everybody, but I love certain people. And so I just thought, oh my God, I like that girl. Which I don't really hate everybody, but
I appreciate that. Yeah, most people are terrible. Heinous.
Oh,
that's so nice.
Heinous. You're not heinous, or you're heinous in a good way.
I hide it really well.
Yes.
The skin suit is just working for me. It's a good manufacturer.
So that would be. It is kind of it's a not. It was secret for 9 years about you having be your funny talent, but I would imagine at the workplace you're sarcastic and funny wherever you go.
Almost always the personality hire, yeah. And then they're like, "Oh, you do work too." And then I'm like, "They're like, that's crazy. I thought you just showed up a little bit late and made us giggle, but you actually meet deadlines." That's nuts.
Love that. The personality.
That's perfect.
hire.
I'm getting a T-shirt. I'm the personality hire.
I mean, in this economy, for whatever we're getting paid, which is probably not enough, it's let's have a little giggle. We made all this up, guys. Come on now, Come on.
That's perfect for radio because I don't have to have any skills. I just am the personality hire, just the personality.
The
Yes,
fact that
you
that is
are.
one of my jobs now. So like now that comedy has sort of developed over the last few years to be one of my like part-time jobs and like one of my sources of income, the fact that I get to just kind of be like a little like silly
Right.
goose on stage and then like somebody gives me like a check at the end of the night. I'm like, this feels illegal, but keep doing it,
But
please.
thank you,
I
right?
love it
Think
so
about
much.
what you did to get there, though, too. The driving to Lansing and listening. It's not, there's work involved. So don't discredit
Yeah.
yourself, please, that this is, but yeah.
I think maybe that's my favorite way to talk about comedy is like, if you ever think about like welding, I promise it's
I
going
wanted
somewhere.
to be a welder.
First of all, underwater welders, apparently, this is a late in life career I could be tapping into. They make some of the most money ever.
On those
now,
oil rigs.
Yeah. Now
it's also very dangerous.
I was going to say you could get crushed by like, barometric pressure, but listen, you got to live life on the edge.
Right.
And, I love
what a way to go. She was crushed by barometric welding underwater. Dude,
That's like
done.
badass
Truly.
bitch. Let's go.
I couldn't ask for more, but
Done. Right.
I like comedy because I think it's like welding because like you can learn the mechanics of welding and then you can see a clear difference between a journeyman welder and someone who's been welding for a couple of years, right?
Wow.
So if you think about comedy as like a muscle you're flexing, like a rep that you're getting in, that's what a lot of my friends, my comedian friends in town, we all talk about the rep.
What's this rep you speak of? Is it exercise? Because did you just bring exercise
Well,
into
because
this?
it's had a 9-year break. It takes a long time to get back into shape after 9 years.
And every time you tell jokes, you're doing that same thing again because realistically we're telling the same joke kind of a million times to different audiences and those people haven't heard it yet and their energy is going to affect the way that you say it, right? And so I like that. I feel like with every month, 3 months, year that passes with comedy, I feel like you're just starting to see fewer welding seams of like how jokes are built on stage or like how, I can kind of interact with people because you're just always working at it, right? Unfortunately, there is no like end point of like, well, you're funny, you've made it and you're going to be funny forever. It's that Steve Martin thing.
You won the gold medal in funny.
There's nothing like that. It's literally Steve Martin told Tina Fey one time and I'll never forget it. And she's like, yeah, I saw him on some sort of like late night thing. And then the next night he's on SNL. And I was like, wow, you did so great last night. And he goes, yeah, you got to kill every time. And that is, you got, so you're always working on it, and so I think one of my favorite things about actually living in Grand Rapids and one of the secret talents of Grand Rapids, to bring it back to the question, is its comedy scene. Yeah. You guys know there's a lot of comedians here, but the scene, you get comedians that are on par with Chicago, LA, New York. And I know I lived in LA for 5 years. Like the folks that are working here, the rooms that you can go see free comedy in that like you'd have to pay to see like that in LA, they're incredible. You got folks that are, that have, specials out that you can watch right now. And they shot them at like Pyramid Scheme, shout out Adam Deggy, there's tons of folks. They're so funny, it's a great city. And I think that's like one of Grand Rapids' hidden talents.
I stepped on it. We're going to say it again. Adam Deggy. Yeah. He's our pal.
Okay. But I want to know what your secret power is.
My secret power.
Secret
talent.
Talent.
I can hold my breath for a really long time.
Whoa. Underwater welding.
That's
it goes back to it.
Hopefully you're not just holding your breath.
I'll tell you my secret. My secret talent is I don't have many. I'm very clumsy. Is water. Truth. I can swim. I'm graceful. I'm fearless. She's looking at me like, what?
I'm so unathletic.
It's not even about being athletic. I'm just not afraid of any water, anytime, anywhere. I'll jump off anything, anywhere, anytime, no matter the height, and so, it is true. Like I will swim. I would like to be one of those swimmers who actually swims across Lake Michigan. I'm serious.
Oh.
So, all right, maybe
you should you should do it. That's so scary to me, but you should 100% do it.
Just to Chicago.
Swim the Straits of Mackinac. They have a swim every year. The Straits.
I could do that. Yeah, I would do that.
I mean, the whole lake,
and that's hard. 5 miles.
Poor Jim Dreyer has tried it millions.
Yeah,
times.
I know.
Try the Straits.
Okay, wait.
You just crushed my dream. Is what happened here. You just totally crushed my. Look, you're not going to go to Milwaukee, honey.
I love you.
Try a baby step.
Hey, the Straits of Mackinac. By the way, that is baller material. I'm just saying. Like
the fact that you said you jump off things. I want to know, have you ever have you ever like jumped off like a dam and then like had to swim in the little like culvert thing? You've done that?
Yep.
I cannot tell you that nothing is scarier to me than that. What if you get stuck?
You don't, you won't, you just
could.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I've jumped off, I've jumped off a lot of bridges.
Never.
I've jumped into water. If
Michelle,
there's water below. And I'll be honest with you.
There's water below. Yeah,
I'd rather dive than jump, to be honest with you.
See, no, don't do that.
No, I would rather dive because once I know that there's not like a rock that I'm going to dive
into. So you
into.
don't hit your head.
But I would rather, it's more comfortable to dive for me. Those cliff divers, that's my dream. That's my dream, to be a cliff diver. I swear to God, I would.
Would you ever go to like pictured rocks and like jump off? Can you jump off pictured rocks?
No,
you can't.
But you can go to Marquette and I go Black Rock.
I did. I've jumped off Black Rock, and I've jumped off at Presque Isle Park into the freezing cold 41-degree temperature.
My God.
That's another thing. Cold water. I can take a cold water plunge.
Would you ever like base jump though, like not into water?
I wouldn't be afraid to.
But that's not you're water activate. You're a water Pokemon.
But okay. I would. I mean, I would base jump. I jumped out of an airplane. I'll do anything once. Like I repelled last week.
That is so scary.
I repelled last week, and I've never done that my entire life. And I repelled.
I played pickleball a couple weeks ago, and I was scared. I was like, let me relax my shoulder.
Really hurt.
Like, I can't.
I mean, it's not. And I want you to know though, I took a 9-year hiatus, but no,
I'm like, what a polar plunge
between
with me?
jumping and jumping.
Like you got a polar plunge with me.
I'm just always gone that week. I'm always like, that's like always
March 21st.
Oh, I'll do it.
Come to
you do it
Elk Rapids. I know it's a big dumpster. It's like a dumpster full of water. It's gonna be at Shorts. Yeah.
I only do lakes.
I'm sorry. I just want it to be noted, and I see your producer over there, so it is on record. You just said a dumpster full of water.
Yeah, she did say dumpster.
It is.
Yeah. Dumpster.
I'm like, where's our producer? We don't have one.
Yeah,
I just assumed that man was working for you. I don't know. Anytime I see a man, I assume he's staff.
Working for us. What is your secret talent?
Well, I'm not really scared of much physically like that.
Not. Says the girl with the gym in her basement too. She's one of those. Oh yeah, she's a girl. She's a runner. She drags me through races and stuff.
Oh,
we love her.
I love her.
I love this. This is.
I rappelled down the building here.
You did that huge building,
dude. Yeah. I've jumped out of airplanes. I'll jump off cliffs. I will do all that. The worst thing when I jumped off a cliff the last time, I lost my Apple Watch, and the guy dove down 20 feet and pulled it up. I was like, I love you.
Like in Charlie's Angels or something?
Like we were in Mexico, and we went to this fun park thing, and they're like, yeah, you can jump off these cliffs. I'm like, yeah, let's go. And I had the Apple Watch on, and as soon as I hit the water, my Apple Watch came off and sunk, and I was distraught. And this little guy, some other woman had just lost hers too. And he just free dives down like 20 feet, grabs them and brings them back up. I'm like, thank you.
I would like to be the finder. I drop people drop stuff in lake. It's sunglasses. I'm your one. I'm your girl.
Okay. I'm just saying you guys could have like a side business as like a two Michelle's, one travel or one adventure. And you guys could do some sort of like travel, and you could take people out on stuff.
We could.
Right? Because people love a guide.
Older women who really like to do fun things.
And older men who are submissive and like to be led around. There's audiences for you guys. Don't worry, okay?
But when I was thinking about what my secret talent is,
I love her.
I was just saying getting people to do things.
Lock the door. Lock the door.
I know, right?
Wait, what's your secret talent?
Getting people to do things sometimes.
You got that guy to dive down and get your watch.
You did. No. You said go, and he just dove.
Did you show him a boob? Did you show him you didn't have to show him a boob?
I mean, I was wearing a bathing
Power
suit.
of her voice only. That's some Jessica Rabbit stuff.
It was a face I made because I don't think he even spoke English. I think he was just.
You just gave him a look like in your goggles, behind the goggles. Think of all the things obstructing, and your eyes came through.
Please get my Apple Watch.
Wow. My Apple Watch, and yeah. So, like, what? Give me an example of what
I don't know, like polar plunging. Like, I'm like,
she's about to get you to polar plunge.
I am.
This is happening in real time.
And so I put the call out, and and maybe it's because I'm persistent and I don't take no for an answer a lot, and I think that I'm just like, please do this.
I could also
like to bring people together.
Like, I could see you meeting people where they're at. So I could see you kind of you pitch something, they might be like, well, and then you'll be like, but what about this? So that it kind of meets them in their comfort zone. I can already see that about you.
Meeting people where that, I would say to Michelle, I killed a person. She goes, where are we going to bury him? Like that's
a ride or die.
She's
or die.
She said, we have a problem. We have to solve it. Okay. We got things
I'm
to
like,
do.
okay, let's not stress.
Right.
Let's figure this out. Like if it's my own problems, I'm like, but that's why you have friends. But if it's somebody else's problem, I'm like, okay, we can do that.
Wait, what's your star sign? Are you a Capricorn?
I'm a Libra.
Oh, so was that an Earth? That's an Earth sign, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I could tell because you said,
is it water?
Right? Is Libra Earth?
Libra? I don't know. You should know. I don't know.
I think it's water.
I'm going to Google it right now.
Fire.
I feel like that's like a Libra mentality though of like, my life is a little chaotic, but like I have great advice for people.
That's
me.
So
I'm a
good at
Capricorn.
telling people how to do the things. I'm pretty sure it's water.
Symbolizes Venus, harmony, justice. Libras are air signs.
Oh, air.
God, they're social air signs for being diplomatic. That's you.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm Sag. No question about it.
So do you want to be called Ginny? Are you called Ginny?
Oh no, that's so funny. And I realized I said it on air. That's what my like dad calls me, and my like family, my like grandma calls me. I staunchly at 11 had a family meeting, and I said, "Family, I'm a woman now. If everyone could please stop calling me Ginny. My name is Virginia. That's a woman's name." And my dad, I'm 37 with 2 children of my own, and he will call me and he'll be like, "Hey, Ginny," and I'm like, "All right, I love it. No, it's good."
I need to tell you this.
Handles, we got to get people to follow her. And your shows, you have any upcoming shows that we can catch?
Yes. So when does
when's your next show?
I was like, I have a show tomorrow.
No, it's not going to be up by then.
But then I won't talk about that one. So I have a monthly show that I host at Pyramid Scheme called High Score Comedy. I host that with the folks from New World Comedy and A La Carte Comedy. We all kind of co-host that, and that's a free show in the front room that we do. The next one's Sunday, March 8th. Okay. And then I also host a residency at Scorpion Hearts Club coffee shop in Easttown. I like to do shows that kind of similar to what we were just talking about, Michelle. I like to meet people where they're at. I'm a single mom, so I like to create opportunities for events that I could attend. Yeah, basically. Right. So the Scorpion Hearts Club is the show is called Scorpion Farts Club. Thank you so much. You're welcome, America. And we will have shows March, April, May, and June. And those are fully slated with truly some of the funniest comedians all around Michigan. The lineup for those will be coming out very soon. And then you can find tickets and all of that online. And then I am constantly online because, as I've mentioned more than once, like Tinkerbell, I love attention and applause. So I'm kind of always doing things. Yeah. But one of the other things I really like to do is talk about comedy in Grand Rapids. So when you follow me on TikTok, or if you follow me on localspins.com, I write a comedy column called Local Grins because I like to let people know all about the shows that are happening. Yeah. And so I typically am around. And then I also have kind of a little mini residency with the really good folks over at the Comedy Project on Leonard. So you can see me there.
So not much. So you're not doing much.
You know, and I said that and I was like, and also I have school pickup later at 3:45. So
good luck with that. I'm sorry. That sounds the worst out of everything.
When we talk about your name, I do need to tell you, one of my most favorite, I had a grandmother, Hellmain, we call Helen May, Hellmain, and her sister was Virginia. And they would sit there and they'd hold their Budweiser. You've now had diverticulitis for 50. Goddamn. And they'd fight with each other. But the minute one went after one of them, they would both go after that person. And she was Aunt Verge. And she later in life became Dirge. And not that you're headed towards Dirge, but she was one of my favorite humans on earth. I love Aunt Verge. God rest her soul. And I think, here's the other thing about Dirge, which maybe she has pictures. She was married to this wealthy guy and he died, but she has pictures of herself with other women in men's suits from the 50s. I loved her. And I think there's some, and yet I have all her jewelry because I just loved her so much. Yeah. But so anyway, think about Dirge. Work on that.
I love that.
Think about maybe having, I know you don't want to be Ginny, you're Virginia, but maybe some point you could be Dirge.
Well, it's funny you say that because I love a Virginia story because, having this name, I got to tell you, I always have people that are like my grandma. Yeah. Right. And it is always that. Yeah. I was named after my great grandma, Virginia. Yeah. And so when she was alive and we were both alive, she was Big Gin and I was Little Gin. And girl, you just did the smoking thing, and I almost started crying because she would chain smoke and she would drink her little room temperature old Milwaukee's.
Oh, that same thing.
It was so.
And tell me there's
specific.
lipstick on the cigarette butts.
And then you need you to know, during her memorial, we, because our family, she was the best. She was married a couple times. She owned businesses. She was just such a cool. She had a 20-year-old boyfriend when she was in her 80s. Girl, he took her to doctor's appointments and stuff. She was incredible. And at her memorial, like I'm sure, like with Dirge, we kept a cigarette lit for her the entire time, and an open old Milwaukee right in front of her picture. And so the cigarette, anytime it would kind of go out, we lit another one, and it was just,
oh my God. And they would, and she'd go, I've had diverticulitis fell away for 15 goddamn years. I've had. Oh my God. Anyway.
But these are the Virginias that kept us going. Right? These are the women of whom we stand. Their shoulders of whom we stand. Yeah.
The Virginias.
Dirge. Thank you for sharing that with me. I love that. Aww.
Thank you for joining us today. Yes, we'll put all the ways to get a hold of you and your TikTok, all this stuff. We'll link it.
Yes, we will.
Thanks for joining.
Come see at a show, right?
You guys have tickets anytime.
You're fantastic.
Make sure you subscribe, like us, all the things.
Thank you. Subscribe, love us.